Hey everybody, it's Tim, High Noons Vinyl, your proggy neighborhood vinyl guy. That's right, I am here to do under one take the 2021 Prog Vinyl Tag. You guys saw me do the hip hop one. There's been a few responses from that. Thank you so much for everybody who's done a response so far. Hoping to see a few more in the days and weeks to come, but it seems like there are so many genre tags right now. It's exploded and it's a lot of fun. Bill put this one together. My brother at the Vinylverse. I have the questions. I have a stack of wax, and I have a one-song side to keep me occupied. Which one? I'll get to that later. Let's see if I can get it done before that's over. 20 questions. Here we go. An album that got you into prog. Well, for me, that's not one, it's three. I talked ad nauseum before on this channel about the influences that my Uncle Jack and Aunt Judy had on my musical tastes in an early age. So they first turned me on to Yes, and This Is Fragile. Because of the song Roundabout. I played it on the radio and stuff like that. You know, it was a huge one for me. And they're like, hey, check out the album. We got it. And then Jethro Tull's Aqualung. Both of these were staples of ones I would listen to, excuse me, when I was there. And they're like, hey, you're really kind of getting into this stuff. So check this out. King Crimson and the Court of the Crimson King. These three right here were the foundation building block for my prog life. And a strong one at that, I would like to say. An album with only 4 songs. This is third. This is from Soft Machine. It is a double LP. And yes, it only has 4 songs. Count them: 1 side, 2 side, 3 side, 4 sides. 1 song, 2 songs, 3 songs, 4 songs. I will not be surprised if someone else is showing this. Facelift, Slightly All the Time, Moon and June, and Out Bloody Rages. That is your third album from the mighty Soft Machine. Third album, 4 songs. A Vertigo label. I just showed this not too long ago, so let's rehash it, shall we? On the Vertigo Space label, that is Aphrodite's Child, 666, the number of the beast, based off of the Book of Revelations. What a trip. It's proggy, it's psyche, it's weird. But that's what I love about it. An album with epic keyboards. Well, when you say prog and you say words like epic and keyboards, only one person comes to mind. And it's not me. I mean, I'm not the guy. So I pulled Rick Wakeman's, and this is the Journey to the Center of the Earth. This was recorded at the Royal Festival Hall in London on Friday, January 18th, 1974. So he came up with this entire concept for this album to be kind of like a live performance on ice. It don't get any more epic than Rick Wakeman. The man is just, he's out there. He's so far living in different worlds than we are. Only him could think something up like this and make it work. Rick Wakeman. I mean, who else are you gonna pick? Is it prog? Well, hell, I could have pulled anything from my hip hop tag. God, it killed me. I'm lonely. So I'm showing Dave Grohl's Play. So if you aren't familiar with Dave Grohl's Play, this was kind of a tribute to getting in the studio and just screwing around and seeing what works. So he wrote himself a 21-minute instrumental. And if you look here, that's the setup for the different instruments that he was going to play. He recorded this in stages of the different stations. So like one is guitar, and one is drums, and one is piano and keyboards and xylophone and stuff like that. So it's all done one take per section. Did he do them in the first take? No. What do you do if you get to minute 19 and the drums and you screw up? He started over. So this was obviously a labor of love. It was one of those things, can I do it? Everything about this screams prog, except for the fact that it's Dave Grohl. So, is it prog? I think so. You can actually check it out online. There's a video for it. It's absolutely free to stream it. Hopefully there's no commercials in it either. But you got to respect Dave Grohl for just pushing the boundaries and saying, meh, can I do it? Why not? So, Dave Grohl's play. The sleeve fell. I'll deal with it later. A prog band out of Germany. German prog. Krautrock. Who would I show for Krautrock? No, not them. Haha. This is Jane. This was their, I think, 5th. Don't quote me. Between Heaven and Hell. So they were obviously born out of the Krautrock scene in Germany. They're still going at it. I think they last counted like 57,919 albums, cassettes, and CDs. It's ridiculous on that wonderful Brain label. I'm telling you, if you see this label and you like prog, buy it. Whatever it is, just buy it. You will love it. Trust me. And if you don't love it, send it to me. I will love it. So this is Jane, like I said, out of Germany. Great stuff. This one's a little bit more not as prog as some of the earlier things, I guess is the word I'm looking for, but still fits the elements. And I adored it. It's the only Jane that I have. I've streamed others, and looking for more. So a prog group out of the UK. Well, when I thought of UK groups, 75 million came to mind. Let's face it, in the 70s, the prog movement was very, very strong. In the late 60s, early 70s, I mean, you had so many bands kind of venturing into that progressive sound. So I was trying to narrow it down, and I thought, is there an area that had its own sound and its own scene? Yes. Canterbury was quite known for having its own scene. And I think it was cleverly known as the Canterbury scene. How they came up with that name, I don't know. I mean, smarter people than me have tried to figure it out. This is Caravan's 3rd album, In the Land of Gray and Pink. This is currently what I am spinning. I am spinning side 2 of this. If you're not familiar with Caravan, get familiar with Caravan. Fantastic stuff. This is the only one that I currently own. Always looking for more. This is one of the newer, I think it's like a 2015 or 2017 reissue. Sounds fantastic. Absolutely love this album. Like I said, they're probably at the top of the list, or at least high up there when it comes to the Canterbury scene sound. But I absolutely love this album, and looking for more. So seems to be the theme here. And then a prog out of North America and South America. Well, when you think North American prog, these guys really come to mind, don't they? I mean, yes, you can say that they were a little bit more metal at times, maybe a little bit more synth oriented at times, but everything they ever did really was prog. I think North American prog, and I think the masters. I mean, these guys really created their own sound, and to me, in the 70s, I don't think there was too much that could really top them. Going into the 80s, even some of the 90s stuff I really love. I mean, I really, in high regard. I don't really think that there's too many bad songs from them. There's not a bad album. I mean, there's some you like more than others, but obviously we're talking about Rush. I don't need to hold this up anymore. Let's move on. Rush. A prog gateway album. Well, for me, I don't have this on vinyl, so you're getting those smaller round things called a compact disc, because it is a disc and it is compact, hence the clever marketing name. These guys think of everything. And for me, that is probably one of the modern masters of prog. That's Steve Wilson. This is the Raven who reviews to sing and other stories. This really sums up the influence of 40 years of prog. And when someone sits down and listens to this, you can literally go, you hear that, that's Floyd influence, or that's a Crimson influence, or there's Yes, or there's ELP, or he's getting that from the Canterbury scene, or he's getting this from Rush, or he really just was a sponge of it all and created a monster. I need to get this on vinyl, but I have it on CD and I'm in no rush because I absolutely love this. This still gets frequent spins. It's probably in my top 50 all time already, and it's not that old. If someone said, hey, I really want to know where do I go with prog, I would start them with this and say, what songs did you like? And steer them in the right direction. And if they said they loved the whole album, then I'm going to say, guess what? You're a prog fan, and here's a list of about 100 bands you need to check. So, Steve Wilson, that's where you go. Next, an album with Bill Bruford on drums. Man, that was tough. I mean, he's such an obscure guy, right? I mean, nobody's ever heard of him. Where else do you turn but his own damn album? This is one of a kind. This is his second official album solo, but his first under the Bruford group name. This kind of fits a little bit more into the jazz fusion, which, let's face it, when you heard him play, he definitely came across as someone who had belonged in a jazz fusion setting, but still phenomenal. Absolutely adore this album. So glad I picked it up. And what can you say about Bill Bruford? He's just a master. A concept album. Do we really need to talk about this? Okay, let's talk about it. And the guy on the camera is gonna go see them in Philly with his twin brother Brill. There, we've talked about it. Peter Gabriel's last with the group, but what a way to go out. I mean, just an amazing story of Raul, Puerto Rican descent, lives in New York, looking to figure out who the hell he is. And man, what a trip. We all know this one, right? We don't need to discuss this. Okay. There's blowing smoke out of my own ass. A female artist or a female singer in a prog group, and my mind instantly went to Renaissance. This is Scheherazade and Other Stories. The incomparable Annie Haslam on lead vocals. What can you say about Renaissance? I have a few of their albums, but this by far is my favorite, so that's why I pulled that one. So, where are we going next? A prog solo album. See, I'm pretty sure I know which one you picked, Bill. So I zigged when you zagged. Same era, same band, same label. Chris Squire is a fish out of water. Of any solo Yes album, I think this is probably my favorite. Fantastic spatial awareness. Bill Bruford's on drums on this one too. Could have been any other question. But just an absolutely wonderful album. And Chris Squire does not get enough credit for his vocal prowess. Is he on par with John Anderson? No. But you miss hearing his harmonies if he's not there with John. So he really does his own here, and it really sounds wonderful. Absolutely love this album. Got this on a steel. So glad I have it. Got a couple ticks and pops, but it'll hold me for now. But, you know, it is what it is. A Roger Dean cover. Well, there's a ton, right? So let's just go with this first. I mean, this is where it started. This is Gun. I know it's not quite prog, but this was where Roger Dean first started. This is his first actual cover. It's a nice little red reissue. I've shown this before. But what an album. What a cover. And what an imagination. I mean, let's face it. I mean, the Yes albums, I don't think, packaging-wise, you look at that art and it paints that picture as you're hearing that music, and it really, really just goes hand in hand. So Roger Dean, what an amazing, amazing artist. A Prog album from 1971. Well, where would I be in a Prog video if I didn't show these guys? Gentle Giant, this is Acquiring the Taste. This is their second album, 1971. Also would have went with the Vertigo question. Seeing how things all mesh together? Could have been the UK question. I'm just saying, you know. So, anyway, Gentle Giant, Acquiring the Taste. Draw your own conclusions, but what a band. What a band. A live Prog album. There were a few I could have shown. I warred between two because I hadn't pulled this band yet. And I decided to go with this one, which is Roger Waters' performance of The Wall, live in Berlin. This is the Record Store Day reissue. I went with this one over the reissue of Delicate Sound of Thunder because Momentary Lapse of Reason to me is not a Prog album. There are Prog songs on that live set, absolutely. This is more Prog than that. I could have pulled out different ones, but I wanted to, you know, spread the love, show some diversity. So, a Prog album, the last Prog album you purchased or you were gifted. I just did a video about this not too long ago. And that is Moon Madness. The incomparable Anthony Ferraro sent this to me. He's a co-host on the Sea of Tranquility. Sorry, I had a brain fart there, just because my brain's going off in a different direction. So, Camel, Moon Madness, what an album. Thank you, Anthony. He's also responsible for this little beautiful box set, which he just did a review of with Pete Pardo over at the Sea of Tranquility. And now I'm realizing that I didn't pull something, but that's okay because we're doing one take, kids, because it's almost over. A Prog album from the last 25 years. You know what? I will do this live right here, right now. How about that, kids? We will let the show continue to go on. And I think it's here. Yeah, it is. How's this one for you? And a second appearance by Mr. Steve Wilson. This is Blackfield. It's their debut album. They've gone on to do, I know, at least 5, maybe 6. Fantastic stuff. I mean, anything Steve Wilson puts his hand to, let's face it. Well, not anything. I'm still on the fence about the new album. I get the direction, it may not be my thing. But anyway, Steve Wilson, definitely someone you need to pay attention to. Blackfield, fantastic album. And again, could have been for the Anthony Ferraro piece because he loves me in some crazy way, I think. No, he's just a good guy. So go check him out on Sea of Tranquility because apparently he refuses to do his own video channel, even though this question is pretty much tailor-made for, I'm getting on a rant. Anyway, a prog album with an epic guitar solo. This one came to mind fast. This is Relayer from 1975? 74, excuse me. Side one. See, this would have also fit into the song, an album with only 4 tracks. It actually has 3. You could go on 4 or less. But for me, side one, The Gates of Delirium, 21 minutes and 55 seconds. And there are many moments where Steve Howe just tears into this song. Very unique playing, very passionate. Steve Howe is just a wizard when it comes to the guitar, and some of his work that he's done over the years is still mind-blowing to me. This one, not an exception. So, Relayer from 1974, Gates of Delirium. What a kick-ass guitar solos, technically. So, and then the last question, what's at the top of your prog wish list? I am trying to finish up my Rush catalog and my Gentle Giant catalog and my Yes catalog. I would say probably those are the big ones. But if I had to pick the biggest right now, might be Gentle Giants in a Glass House. Never see it. So, just comes to mind. But, I mean, those, Porcupine Tree would be another big one I'm trying to get. I'm trying to get the vinyl, but man, those are getting pricey again, so I'm hoping they're going to get reissued again soon. But there we have it. 22 and some odd minutes in, the needle just finished. I call that a win. There you go. You just experienced prog at the side of an album. Bill, this was a lot of fun. Thank you for putting this together. Hoping to get this together real soon so everybody can jump in. And now that I've done this, I can go start watching them. Yay! So hopefully everybody has enjoyed it. Please, if you're a fan of prog, join in. If you're a fan of Anthony Ferraro, convince him to make one. I'm just bullshit. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Take care. I love you all. Remember, one take, even the brain farts. Take care. Peace.